Galactic Empire stunned as humanity's fleet arrives for total destruction. Decades of planning had led to this moment. Decades of humans being ignored, mocked, and tested by the Galactic Empire had finally reached an end. He watched the holographic map of Imperial space. Countless star systems, hundreds of planets, and millions of ships. The Empire had ruled them for centuries. They had built massive fleets, towering stations, and weapons so powerful that most species had no hope of standing against them. Humans had been weak once. They had been laughed at in galactic councils. Their ships were smaller, their technology seen as crude, but that had changed. Slowly, secretly, humans had built something the Empire could not ignore. Alex turned to his second-in-command, Maria Stone. She was calm, her dark hair tied back neatly and her eyes sharp with focus. "Status report," he said. Maria tapped the holographic display. "All ships are in position, stealth fields are active, communications are silent. No Empire patrols have detected us yet." "Good," Alex said. His voice was quiet but firm. "This is the moment we have waited for. All those years of being dismissed, of being ignored, of being called weak. It ends now." Far from the control room, the crew of the fleet went about their preparations. Jake Miller, a young pilot, checked the engines of his fighter. He smiled slightly as he ran through the checklist. He had trained for this moment for years. Every human in the fleet had. Every test, every simulation, every quiet day on Earth had led them here. They were ready. Sophia Lane, another commander, walked through the corridors of the ship. She stopped briefly at a crew station and spoke to a technician. "Double-check the targeting arrays," she said. "We cannot afford mistakes, not now." The human fleet moved like shadows in space. Hundreds of ships hidden from sensors traveling quietly toward the Empire's core. They did not want attention. They did not need it. The Empire believed humans were weak, small, and slow. The Empire believed humans would never reach them. It was the Empire's mistake. Back on Earth in the council chambers, Linda Moore, the human leader, watched the fleet's preparations. Ben Harris, her chief advisor, stood beside her. "They are ready," he said. "We have waited long enough," Linda nodded. "For too long, humans have been mocked. For too long, the Empire has decided who is strong and who is weak. The galaxy has forgotten us. It will not forget again." She turned to a display showing human colonies on distant planets. "Every human ship, every crew member, every plan we have worked on is here. If we succeed, the Empire will be destroyed." The Empire, far across the stars, continued its life of luxury and control. Admiral Korvac, one of the Empire's highest commanders, sat in his office aboard a massive battle station. He looked at reports from distant patrols. Some ships were missing, but he waved it off. "Pirates," he muttered. "System failures, nothing important." He did not notice the growing shadow, the silent fleet moving closer with every moment. Alex and Maria watched as the fleet approached the first Imperial system. It was a small, lightly defended planet, a test of their tactics. They did not need to destroy it fully, but they needed to show precision. "Engage stealth approach," Alex ordered. "We do this cleanly. No alarms, no messages, no mistakes." Human ships moved like phantoms, bypassing sensors, disabling communication relays, and taking out small patrols without leaving a trace. The Empire believed it was just system failures, but in reality, the humans were already inside Imperial space, hidden and ready. On the command bridge, Alex spoke quietly to his crew. "Remember why we are here? The Empire tried to make us small. They tried to make us afraid. They told the galaxy we were weak. They lied. Today, the galaxy will see the truth." The first system fell without a fight. Human ships slipped away quietly, leaving the Empire with confusion and fear. Patrols reported strange disappearances, but no one suspected the fleet itself. Alex felt a cold satisfaction. He had seen the Empire underestimate humans his whole life. He would never make the same mistake again. Jake Miller piloted his fighter past a moon of the planet. He watched the Empire's ships struggle to respond. He smiled. "They don't even know we are here," he whispered to himself. Sophia Lane monitored multiple targets at once. "All systems green," she said. "We are invisible. The Empire cannot track us. They cannot stop us." The human fleet continued deeper into the Empire's territory. They passed through asteroid fields, nebulae, and space debris, all carefully charted long ago. Each jump brought them closer to the heart of Imperial power. Back on Earth, Linda Moore and Ben Harris watched as reports came in. Each report showed human ships accomplishing missions with precision. "It is beautiful," Ben said softly. The Empire has no idea what is coming. Linda nodded. We have been patient. Now the galaxy will see what humanity is capable of. They will learn respect. They will learn caution. In the Empire, Admiral Korvac received another report. This time more ships were missing. He frowned. Contact headquarters, he ordered. Get an explanation, send every patrol possible. But no one could give him answers. Human ships moved too fast, too precise, and too quietly. On Alex's ship, the crew celebrated quietly. They knew the hardest part was still ahead. The Empire was strong and the human fleet was powerful, but victory required patience, planning, and courage. Alex looked at the stars and thought of Earth, of his home, and of every human who had ever been ignored. The Empire will remember us, he said softly. And the galaxy will too. As the fleet moved toward the next system, the Empire continued to make mistakes. It assumed humans were weak, chaotic, and slow to act. It assumed humans would never arrive. The Empire had forgotten one simple truth: humans never give up. Humans never surrender. Humans do not forgive easily. And humans, when they come to finish what was started long ago. The first system was just the beginning. The humans had many more steps to take, and each step brought them closer to the Empire's heart. Alex knew there would be battles, sacrifices, and danger, but he also knew that humans had waited long enough. They would not be ignored. They would not be dismissed. The Empire had built its walls and its fleets, but humans had built their resolve. And resolve, Alex knew, was stronger than any weapon the Empire had. As the fleet jumped to the next star system, Maria turned to Alex. It is time, she said. We are in the Empire's space. Nothing can stop us now. Alex nodded. He looked at the stars stretching endlessly ahead. Then let them be stunned, he said quietly. Let the Empire see what it has ignored for so long. The human fleet moved forward silently. Behind them lay decades of planning, sacrifice, and pain. Ahead of them lay the Empire, unprepared, arrogant, and waiting to be destroyed. And somewhere in the silence of space, Alex felt the weight of history on his shoulders. The galaxy had forgotten humans, but humans had not forgotten the galaxy. And now, humanity was ready to remind it of the truth. The stars shimmered around the fleet. The silence of space held its breath. The humans were coming, and when they arrived, everything would change. The first part of their story, the silent approach, the shadow before the storm, was over. The Empire had no idea what waited for it, and the humans were just beginning. Alex sat back in his chair, his hands resting lightly on the console. He thought of every person who had trained, every family who had worked, every scientist who had built, and every pilot who had flown. All of them were here now, united, ready. The galaxy had ignored them for too long. Now the galaxy would pay attention. And somewhere in the deep space ahead, the Empire remained blind. The humans were coming, and nothing would ever be the same. The human fleet moved quietly through the outer rim of the Empire. Stars passed slowly outside the glass windows of their ships, but inside, tension was high. Alex Carter and Maria Stone stood on the command bridge of the lead ship, watching the holographic map. Every small blip represented a system, a fleet, or a station. Each one could be a challenge, but the humans were ready. Reports from the forward scouts, Maria said. She tapped the display. No detection so far. The Empire thinks this is just normal space activity. They have no idea we are here. Alex nodded. Good, keep it that way. Silence is our strength. Every patrol that passes without seeing us is one less alarm for the Empire. In one of the smaller human ships, Jake Miller and his squad of pilots flew in tight formation. The engines hummed quietly. Jake looked at the holographic display in front of him. We are deep now, he said. Nothing in sensor range. Doesn't mean nothing will happen, replied his wingmate Nathan Lee. He was young but calm, his hands steady on the controls. Stay sharp. The Empire is full of surprises. Their first real test came near a mining colony that belonged to the Empire. The colony was lightly defended, but it had communication arrays that could alert nearby fleets if something went wrong. The humans could not risk that. Alex gave the order. Disable the arrays, minimal damage. We do this cleanly, no alarm. The human ships moved into position. Sophia Lane directed the operations, coordinating with the crews across the fleet. Within minutes, the colony's communications were offline. Sensors showed no explosions, no destruction, just a silent system unable to warn anyone of the approaching threat. Well done, Alex said quietly. Every small step counts. The Empire underestimates us at every turn. On another ship, Eric Dawson worked with a team of engineers. Their job was to infiltrate a supply station and remove weapons that could be used against them. Eric tapped at the controls, rerouting energy, disabling power grids, and quietly evacuating crews without anyone being harmed. He smiled slightly. "This is how you take the fight without chaos," he said. "Precision wins, not just firepower." The humans continued moving through the systems. Each jump brought them closer to the Empire's inner territories. Every patrol that tried to intercept them failed. The Empire had many ships, many sensors, many fleets, but humans were smarter. Humans were patient. Humans waited until the perfect moment. Far inside Imperial space, Admiral Korvac received reports of missing patrols and offline stations. He frowned and tapped the console. "What is happening?" he asked. His voice was sharp. "How can patrols vanish without contact?" "This is not normal." An officer looked nervous. "Sir, we have no explanation, no ship signatures, no warnings. It is like they simply disappeared." Korvac slammed his fist on the table. "Find them, send every fleet in the sector. This cannot happen." "Sir," the officer said hesitantly, "our fleets are already being diverted. More stations have gone offline. It is spreading faster than we can respond." Alex and Maria observed the situation from the human bridge. "They are panicking," Maria said. "Good, panic slows them down. It makes mistakes easier." "We do not need to destroy everything yet," Alex replied. "Our goal is the Empire's heart. Everything else is preparation. Control the chaos and they will never recover." The fleet moved through a dense asteroid field. Humans had charted every rock years before. Ships moved in perfect formation, weaving between asteroids that could have crushed them. Jake Miller laughed quietly in his helmet. "This would scare an Empire pilot," he said. "They would never risk this." "We are not them," Nathan said. "We think differently, we move differently. That is why we win." The fleet reached a system with a small Imperial research station. It was heavily shielded but lightly defended. The humans needed access to the research data to prevent the Empire from using advanced weapons against them. Sophia directed the operation. "Eric, you take the boarding team. Disable the shields quietly. No shots fired unless necessary." Eric nodded. His team moved through the corridors, cutting power, taking control of key systems. The station's crew was surprised but unharmed. Humans moved with calm precision. Back on the bridge, Alex watched the map as the station fell. "Each system we take silently weakens the Empire," he said. "They think they are in control. They think everything is normal. They will learn soon." On Earth, Linda Moore and Ben Harris observed reports from the fleet. "Everything is going according to plan," Ben said. "No Empire fleet has detected them yet," Linda nodded. "That is the way it should be. Humans do not announce themselves. Humans do not rush blindly. The Empire will crumble before they know what hit them." In one Imperial system, a fleet finally tried to respond. A small group of patrol ships detected strange movements and approached cautiously. They did not know what they faced. "Prepare weapons," one Imperial captain said. "We may have intruders." The humans, anticipating this, used diversion tactics. Small decoy ships drew the Imperial patrols away while the main fleet continued its path. The Empire ships pursued shadows, never realizing the real threat was already behind them. "They are slow," Alex said, watching the display. "The Empire believes size and numbers win. They do not understand humans. Humans are patient. Humans wait, and when we strike all at once." Jake and Nathan moved through the asteroid field again, sending small drones to disrupt sensors and communication arrays. The patrols reported interference and confusion. Morale dropped. The humans were quiet, precise, and invisible. The Empire's council grew nervous. Admiral Korvac demanded explanations. "How can entire systems be cut off? How can patrols vanish, send spies, send intelligence, find out who is doing this?" His officers scrambled but had no answers. The humans were too careful, too fast, too clever. They had been planning for decades, and every step so far had gone unnoticed. On the human ships, Alex walked along the corridors, speaking to crew members. "Remember," he said, "this is just the beginning. The Empire is strong, but their arrogance is stronger. They underestimate us. They always have. That is why we win." Sophia smiled as she coordinated the next move. "Next jump brings us closer to the core," she said. "This is where they will see humans for the first time. They will finally understand the danger of underestimating us." Eric looked at the station they had taken. "Every system we pass is another lesson," he said. They will learn soon. We do not fight blindly, we fight smart. We fight together. In the Empire, panic grew. Reports came from multiple sectors. Communication networks were down, patrols missing, stations disabled. The Council could no longer ignore the problem. The humans, if they were humans, had arrived without warning, without noise, and without mercy. Alex sat back in his chair and looked at the stars. He thought of every human who had been dismissed, every colony that had been ignored, every scientist who had been laughed at. All of them had built this moment. All of them had worked for this day. "We are ready," he said quietly. "Whatever comes next, we face it together. The Empire believes humans are weak. Soon they will know the truth." The fleet jumped to another system. Lights flashed across the bridge as stars streaked past. Humans moved silently, carefully, preparing for the moment when the Empire would finally notice. They were not here to negotiate. They were here to change the galaxy forever. Back on Earth, Linda Moore spoke to the Council. "The humans are not reckless," she said. "They are patient, they are precise, and they are unstoppable if underestimated. The galaxy has forgotten us for too long, now it will remember." In the silence of space, the human fleet continued its approach. Every move was calculated. Every jump was planned. Every action brought them closer to the Empire's heart. The Empire did not know it yet, but its time of control was ending. Jake Miller and Nathan Lee flew through another asteroid field, preparing for the next mission. "Do you think they even suspect us?" Jake asked. "No," Nathan replied. "They never do. They never expect humans to be this patient, this precise, this ready." The fleet moved deeper into the Empire. Systems fell quietly. Patrols vanished. The Empire's arrogance blinded it to the danger. Alex watched the holographic display and felt a strange calm. Humans were doing what they always did best: enduring, learning, and waiting. The part ended as the fleet prepared to enter a heavily defended sector. The Empire was still unaware. The humans were ready. The galaxy would soon see what had been hiding in the shadows. The storm was coming, and it would change everything. The human fleet had reached the inner sectors of the Empire. The stars were dense, and every system had patrols, stations, and fleets ready to respond. But the humans moved like shadows. Alex Carter stood on the bridge of the lead ship, watching the holographic map. Each blip represented an Imperial fleet, each one ready to fight, yet none aware of the true threat approaching. "We are entering heavily defended space," Maria Stone said quietly. "Expect resistance, but remember we control the timing. We strike when we are ready, not when they demand it." "Good," Alex said. "We have waited long enough. It is time the Empire learns why humans should never be underestimated." Imperial Admiral Korvac had finally realized that the disturbances were no accidents. Patrols had vanished, stations were offline, and communications were jammed. His fleet had been unable to respond effectively. He gathered his commanders in the main council chamber aboard the capital station. "Humans," he said, the word bitter on his tongue. "This must be humans. There is no other explanation. They have arrived in force without warning. Find them, destroy them, spare nothing." An officer spoke nervously. "Sir, the fleet is scattered. Our systems are compromised. We cannot locate them. Every attempt to engage fails." Korvac slammed his fist on the table. "Failures will not matter. We will crush them. Send every available ship." Back on the human bridge, Alex received reports of multiple Imperial fleets mobilizing. He smiled slightly. "They are finally waking up. Good, let them move. Let them think they are in control." "Our scouts report enemy formations," Sophia Lane said. "They are trying to regroup. We can strike them before they organize fully." "Prepare attack vectors," Alex said. "This is the moment. We strike hard and fast. They will not see us coming." The human fleet split into small groups, each moving silently through dense asteroid fields and nebulae that blocked enemy sensors. Jake Miller led a squadron of fighters. His voice was steady in the comms. "All units, stay sharp. Move with precision. Do not engage unless necessary." "Roger," replied Nathan Lee. "We strike only when we have full advantage." The humans approached an Imperial battle group guarding a strategic system. The enemy believed themselves safe, confident in their shields, their numbers, and their experience. But they did not know humans had prepared for decades. Humans had studied every weakness, every pattern, every tendency. "Focus on shields first," Eric Dawson said. "We cut their defenses, then we disable weapons. Minimal casualties for us, maximum effect." Human ships moved like predators. Small attack teams bypassed sensors. planted devices that drained energy from Imperial shields and slipped away before alarms could sound. Larger ships then moved in, firing precision strikes that disabled weapons without destroying infrastructure. The Imperial fleets were stunned. They could not understand how humans struck so effectively. "We are losing contact with forward patrols," an Imperial captain reported. "They are disappearing. Impossible. We cannot engage them." Alex smiled quietly. "They cannot fight what they cannot see. That is our advantage." Maria monitored the main battle. "Enemy morale is dropping. They are confused, panicked. This is perfect. Maintain formation. Move carefully." Humans used every trick they had learned over decades. Diversion fleets, silent drones, sensor jammers, and precise maneuvers created chaos. The Empire had strength in numbers, but humans had patience, planning, and unity. On one of the smaller ships, Jake and Nathan moved behind an Imperial cruiser. They planted a device that cut internal power. The cruiser's shields collapsed silently. Alarms finally went off, but it was too late. The humans had already moved to the next target. "They have no idea what hit them," Jake said quietly. "They never do," Nathan replied. "Humans strike smart, not just hard." Back on the lead human ship, Alex watched as multiple Imperial fleets struggled to respond. The holographic map showed confusion, scattered formations, and disabled stations. Humans had taken control of the battlefield without heavy fighting. Precision had one where brute force would have failed. "Prepare for the next wave," Sophia said. "The capital fleet will respond soon. We need to be ready." "Good," Alex said. "Let them come. They believe they can regroup. They believe they can fight us. They are wrong." The Empire finally sent a large fleet from the capital world. Hundreds of ships moved together, confident in their strength. They had never faced humans in this way. They believed humans were weak, chaotic, and uncoordinated. They would soon learn the truth. Human ships split into smaller groups again. Each team targeted a section of the Imperial fleet. Jake's squadron struck from behind, disabling engines silently. Eric's team planted devices that shut down weapons systems. Sophia directed movements so that no human ship was ever in danger. "They cannot hit us," Alex said calmly. "They have strength, but we have strategy. Every move they make, we anticipate." Imperial Admiral Korvac realized too late that he had underestimated humans. His fleet suffered losses not from overwhelming force, but from intelligence, patience, and precision. Systems went offline, ships were disabled, morale collapsed. For the first time, the Empire felt fear. How is this possible?" Korvac shouted. "We have every advantage." "Numbers, technology, experience. How can humans do this?" An officer looked grim. "Sir, I believe humans have been preparing for decades. They have learned our patterns. They anticipate us. We are no longer in control." Alex watched the displays. He saw the fear in the Empire's response. He knew this was the turning point. Humans had arrived quietly, struck decisively, and now controlled the battlefield. "Do not celebrate yet," Maria said. "There is more to do. The Empire's core is ahead. Their leadership will try to respond. We must be ready for anything." "I know," Alex said, "but this is the moment we show the galaxy what humans can do. They will never forget this." As the humans pressed their advantage, they captured key stations, disabled fleets, and blocked reinforcements. The Empire had power, but humans had precision. Humans had planning. Humans had patience. And now humans had momentum. Jake looked at the remnants of the Imperial fleets. "They are broken," he said. "This is incredible." "They are learning a lesson they should have remembered long ago," Nathan replied. In the capital world, panic spread. News of missing fleets, destroyed stations, and unexplained losses reached the council. The Emperor's advisors argued, blamed each other, and demanded answers. None came. The humans had arrived without warning and were too smart, too careful, and too fast. "Send spies," one advisor shouted. "Find out what is happening, who is leading them." "It is humans," the Emperor said quietly. "They have waited, they have prepared, they have come." On Earth, Linda Moore watched the reports coming in. Ben Harris stood beside her. "They are doing exactly as planned," Ben said. "Every move, every strike, everything we predicted." "Humans are patient," Linda said, "and they are unstoppable when united. The Empire believed size and firepower would win." Humans proved strategy and patience are stronger than any weapon. Alex and Maria continued directing the fleet. "Prepare for the next target," Alex said. "We are not done. The Empire must see the full extent of what humanity can do." The fleet moved toward the next system, capturing ships, disabling stations, and preparing the way for the final strike at the capital. Humans were careful but relentless. Every strike was measured, every action precise. The Empire had strength, but humans had control. "Look at them," Jake said. "They think they can fight back, but they cannot. We are always one step ahead." "We are humans," Nathan said. "We endure, we plan, and we strike when the time is right. That is why we win." As the fleet jumped to the next system, Alex looked at the stars. He thought of all humans who had been ignored, dismissed, and underestimated. All of them had led to this moment. All of them had prepared for the Empire to think itself untouchable. "This is just the beginning," Alex said quietly. "They will remember humans forever after today." The Empire was stunned. It had faced strong opponents before, but none like humans. Humans were patient, clever, and unstoppable when underestimated. Fleets that had once been feared were now helpless. Stations that had been thought secure were in human hands. The galaxy had never seen anything like this. The human fleet moved deeper into Imperial space, silent, precise, and unstoppable. The Empire had finally realized that humans were not weak. Humans were not chaotic. Humans were not to be ignored. And soon, the Empire would learn that underestimating humanity could destroy everything it had built. Alex sat back in his chair, his hands resting lightly on the console. He looked at the stars and whispered, "The Empire believed itself safe. It was wrong. Humans have arrived and nothing will ever be the same." The storm had begun. The Empire was in chaos. Entire systems had fallen quietly, yet decisively, into human hands. Fleets that had once been feared across the galaxy were disabled, scattered, or surrendered without a fight. Aboard the lead human ship, Alex Carter stood on the bridge, watching the reports come in. The Empire had finally realized humans were not to be underestimated, and panic was spreading faster than any fleet could respond. "Morale is collapsing," Maria Stone said, pointing at the display. "Commanders are confused, soldiers are afraid. They have no leadership, no guidance. The humans have taken the initiative completely." Alex nodded. "Good, keep the pressure. Move through their systems quietly, disable what is dangerous, liberate what is oppressed, and leave nothing that can threaten us later. This is not about glory. This is about teaching the galaxy the cost of ignoring humanity." In a nearby system, Jake Miller and Nathan Lee led a squadron to a mining colony that had been under Imperial control for decades. The humans approached quietly. Alarms never sounded. When they landed, the miners were surprised but unharmed. Supplies were secured, communication restored, and the humans left quickly, leaving the Empire with yet another loss to explain. "They think we are here to destroy," Jake said, "but we only destroy what is dangerous. The rest we free," Nathan nodded. "Humans act differently. We do not conquer for pride. We conquer to correct what is wrong. The Empire should have remembered this long ago." Far in the Imperial core, Admiral Korvac and other leaders struggled to respond. Fleets were scattered, stations disabled, and communication networks broken. Every move they attempted to regain control failed. Each failed attack, each captured station only increased the Empire's fear. "They are everywhere," one officer said. "How can humans move like this?" "They are not attacking all at once, yet they control everything." "They have patience," Korvac said bitterly. "They wait, they plan, they strike at the perfect moment. We have never faced this before. The galaxy does not understand humans." Alex directed the fleet as the humans moved from system to system. No attack was reckless. No ship was lost unnecessarily. Every crew member knew their role. Sophia Lane coordinated boarding teams, Jake and Nathan led strikes, and Eric Dawson oversaw sabotage and disabling of dangerous Imperial technology. The humans worked as one unit, precise and unstoppable. On Earth, Linda Moore and Ben Harris watched the unfolding events. Reports came in from every sector the fleet had passed. "The Empire is stunned," Ben said. "They have no answers, no hope. Humans moved quietly and took control before the Empire even knew it was happening." Linda nodded. "They underestimated patience. They underestimated strategy. They underestimated humans. The galaxy will now see what humanity can do when pushed too far." The human fleet moved into a sector with multiple Imperial research stations. The Empire had thought these stations safe, believing they were distant and protected. Humans approached silently, using small teams to disable defenses, take control of systems, and extract critical information. "We cannot leave these intact," Sophia said. They hold technology that could harm us later. We disable it. We take only what is needed to secure the galaxy. Eric led his team through corridors, shutting down power grids and disabling weapons. Alarms sounded after they left, but by then the humans had moved on. No human was lost, no civilian harmed. The Empire had no idea what had happened until reports came in hours later. They cannot recover from this, Eric said quietly. They never expected humans to be careful and decisive at the same time. The human fleet pressed forward, moving toward the Empire's main communication hub. This hub controlled signals to many systems. Disabling it would create confusion, giving humans full control of the battlefield. Alex spoke calmly to the bridge crew. This is a turning point. We are not just winning. We are showing the galaxy the Empire's weakness. They believed size, force, and fear would protect them. Humans do not fight like that. Humans fight smart. Humans fight with patience and unity. They will remember this day forever. As the fleet approached the hub, Imperial officers tried to send warnings. Signals were blocked, fleets were too scattered, and coordination failed. Humans moved through asteroid belts, nebulae, and dangerous fields, reaching the hub without detection. Disable defenses, Sophia ordered. No shots unless necessary. Precision is key. Teams moved through the hub, shutting down shields and power systems. The hub's operators were confused, unable to respond to the silent invasion. Within minutes, the hub was under human control. This will confuse the Empire more than anything, Alex said. They cannot communicate effectively. They cannot coordinate fleets. Every system we touch now will be isolated. They will feel helpless. Far away in the Imperial capital, reports of losses, disabled stations, and failing fleets finally reached the Emperor himself. Panic was evident. "Who are these humans?" he demanded. "Why have they come without warning? Why do they move like ghosts and strike without mercy?" One advisor spoke nervously. "They have waited, sire. They have prepared for decades. They strike at the perfect moment. The Empire underestimated them. We did not notice until it was too late." "We will stop them," the Emperor said, but the confidence in his voice was weak. "Send every ship, every soldier. We cannot allow humans to control the galaxy." Alex watched the reports from the Empire's core. "Let them try," he said quietly. "We are ready. They will see what happens when humans are ignored for too long." Jake's squadron moved to liberate another colony. Soldiers who had served the Empire for years were confused when humans arrived. Humans offered supplies, restored communication, and explained what had been done. Fear turned to awe. Humans did not conquer them. Humans freed them. The Empire's control slipped further. "They thought humans would destroy," Jake said. "They did not realize we are careful. We take only what is needed. The rest we leave free." Nathan added, "This is why the Empire feared us without knowing it. They expected chaos. We gave them strategy. They expected destruction. We gave them liberation." The Empire tried to respond, sending fleets toward liberated systems, but they arrived too late. Human teams had moved on, disabling communication, capturing supplies, and preventing retaliation. Imperial ships found empty stations, silent colonies, and nothing to fight. "This is impossible," Korvac said bitterly. "We have numbers, technology, fleets, and experience. How can humans move like this? We cannot catch them. We cannot stop them. We cannot understand them." "Sir," one officer said, "humans are patient. They wait. They plan. And when they strike with precision. They are not reckless. They are unstoppable because we never saw it coming." Alex knew the Empire was on the edge. Their fear was growing, their fleets were failing, and their leadership was panicking. Humans had achieved something few species could. They had control without full-scale destruction. Every move was careful, calculated, and decisive. "Prepare the next jump," Alex said. "We move toward the core systems. We show the Empire that humans do not conquer for pride, but we never forgive what is ignored. We finish what they thought was impossible." Sophia smiled. "Every system we pass is liberated. Every fleet we disable is another lesson. The Empire will learn too late that humans cannot be underestimated." Eric checked the sabotage devices on captured stations. "They will rebuild some of this eventually," he said. "But the lesson remains. Humans are not weak. Humans are precise. Humans are patient." The galaxy will remember this. On Earth, Linda Moore and Ben Harris watched the reports continue to pour in. "The humans have shown the galaxy their strength," Ben said. "And they did it without unnecessary bloodshed. That is what makes this even more powerful." "Yes," Linda replied. The Empire underestimated patience, intelligence, and unity. The galaxy is learning the truth. Humans are not weak. Humans do not surrender. And when humans strike, they strike decisively and carefully. The Empire will never forget this day. As the fleet moved closer to the Empire's capital, humans continued their pattern. Every fleet disabled, every system liberated, every station captured without unnecessary destruction. The Empire's soldiers, officers, and leaders were confused and afraid. Humans had arrived and the Empire had no answer. Alex walked along the bridge, speaking quietly to his crew. "We are teaching the galaxy the cost of arrogance," he said. "The Empire believed humans were small, weak, and chaotic. They were wrong. Humans endure, humans plan, and humans act when the moment is right. The galaxy will know this now." The fleet jumped to the next system, preparing for the final push toward the Imperial capital. Communication networks were blocked, reinforcements scattered, and the Empire's core fleets weakened. Humans had taken control without full-scale battles. Strategy and patience had won where firepower alone could not. "They still think they can fight back," Jake said. "But humans have already won more than they realize. They are slow to see it, but it is happening." "And when they do realize," Nathan said, "it will be too late. Humans do not forget. Humans do not surrender. The Empire will understand the cost of underestimating us." Alex looked at the stars outside the window. He thought of every human who had been ignored, every colony dismissed, every voice that had said humans could not succeed. All of them had led to this moment. The Empire had built walls, fleets, and weapons, but humans had patience, strategy, and resolve. "This is the moment," Alex said quietly. "The galaxy will see what humans can do. They will see the Empire fall quietly, decisively, and forever changed. They will remember humanity." The storm of silence, precision, and patient strength had reached the Empire's heart. The humans were near the capital, ready to show the final lesson. The Empire had been stunned, and the galaxy would never be the same. The human fleet had reached the outer systems of the Imperial capital. Massive ships, stations, and defenses stretched across the starfields, but humans moved calmly, silently, and with perfect coordination. Alex Carter stood on the bridge of the lead ship, looking at the vast array of Imperial forces. The Empire had believed itself untouchable, but humans had arrived, and the end of their arrogance was near. "They are preparing defenses," Maria Stone said, pointing at the holographic map. "But their fleets are scattered, their stations damaged, and communication is fragmented. They are weak now." "Good," Alex said quietly. "We do not strike blindly, we strike with precision. Every move counts. The Empire will see what it has ignored for too long." Imperial Admiral Korvac and other commanders gathered aboard the capital station. Panic and fear were visible on every face. "How can this happen?" Korvac shouted. "Entire fleets disabled, systems lost, stations taken. How can humans do this without full battles?" An officer spoke nervously. "Sir, they are not attacking all at once. They strike precisely, strategically, and silently. We cannot predict them. We cannot respond fast enough." Korvac slammed his fist on the table. "We must stop them. Send every ship, every soldier. No human survives this." Alex watched the Imperial response and smiled slightly. The Empire had finally realized humans were not weak, but it was already too late. "Prepare boarding teams," Sophia Lane said. "We take the capital station, disable defenses, secure leadership, and prevent unnecessary destruction." "Understood," Alex said. "We do this cleanly. The Empire will not die in chaos, but it will fall in control. Humanity does not destroy unnecessarily, but we do not forgive what has been ignored for too long." Jake Miller and Nathan Lee led a squadron to disable outer turrets and shield generators. Small teams planted devices that drained power, leaving the Empire's defenses vulnerable without firing a single shot. Human pilots moved like shadows, precise and unstoppable. "All systems green," Jake reported. "Imperial defenses offline. No casualties on our side." "Good," Alex said. "Move the fleet forward. We take the capital." Inside the capital station, the Emperor and his council watched as human ships moved closer. Communication networks failed, fleets were paralyzed, and panic spread. The Emperor had thought humans weak, chaotic, and small. Now he understood the cost of underestimating them. "They are everywhere," one advisor whispered. "We cannot fight back, we cannot communicate, everything is falling." The Emperor looked at the holographic displays, fear in his eyes. Humans, he said quietly, they have waited, they have prepared, they have come, and we ignored them. Alex directed the fleet. Boarding teams moved through corridors, capturing key stations, disarming weapons, and preventing destruction. Humans moved carefully, ensuring no unnecessary harm. The Empire's soldiers surrendered when confronted with precision and overwhelming coordination. This is what patience, planning, and unity achieve, Eric Dawson said as he oversaw the operation. We do not conquer for pride, we conquer to correct what is wrong. The Empire ignored humanity, now they pay the cost. Jake and Nathan guided prisoners to safety, ensuring they were unharmed. Liberated systems had already begun to communicate with each other. The Empire's control was gone. Humans had shown the galaxy that power was not only about fleets and weapons, it was about patience, intelligence, and resolve. On Earth, Linda Moore watched the reports with Ben Harris. The humans have reached the capital, Ben said quietly. The Empire is finished. Yes, Linda replied, but humanity has not destroyed unnecessarily. They are showing the galaxy what strength really is. Humans endure, humans plan, and humans act when the moment is right. The Empire will never forget this day. Alex walked through the corridors of the captured capital station. Soldiers surrendered, equipment was secured, and communication networks were restored under human control. He felt no joy in the destruction, only resolve. The galaxy would never again underestimate humans. Prepare the final communication, Sophia said. The galaxy needs to know why we have come, why the Empire has fallen, and what humans will do now. Alex nodded. A message was broadcast across the galaxy. Linda Moore's voice was calm but firm. She explained humanity's history, how they had been tested, dismissed, and ignored, how they had endured, and how they had prepared for this moment. She stated that humans did not seek domination, only respect, survival, and freedom. The Empire had chosen arrogance, and the cost was total collapse. In the Empire, fleets that had survived quietly surrendered. Systems that had resisted finally opened communication. The galaxy realized that humans had not destroyed blindly. They had liberated, disabled, and demonstrated power in a way no one had expected. Fear of humans replaced arrogance and control. Humans are not cruel, one Imperial officer whispered. They are precise, careful, and united. They strike when they must, but they do not destroy unnecessarily. They are not to be ignored again, another replied. They are patient, strong, and unstoppable when underestimated. Alex returned to the bridge of the lead ship. He looked at the stars outside, thinking of every human who had ever been dismissed, every colony that had been ignored, every scientist, soldier, and pilot who had contributed to this day. All of them had led to this moment. We have done what was necessary, Alex said quietly. The Empire believed itself safe. It was not. Humans have arrived, and the galaxy has seen what we are capable of. We have not conquered for pride. We have corrected a mistake the galaxy made in ignoring humanity for too long. Jake, Nathan, Eric, and Sophia stood together on the bridge. The Empire will remember this, Jake said. And the galaxy will too, Nathan added. We have shown that humans endure, Alex said. We have shown that patience and strategy are stronger than arrogance and fear. Humans are not weak. Humans do not surrender. Humans act when the moment is right. In liberated systems, species that had been under Imperial control celebrated quietly. Humans had freed them without unnecessary bloodshed. The Empire's armies had been paralyzed not by force alone, but by intelligence, planning, and coordination. Respect for humanity spread across the galaxy. The Emperor, humbled and defeated, agreed to surrender unconditionally. The human fleet did not gloat. They had achieved their goal. The Empire was no longer a threat, and the galaxy had learned the truth about humans. Alex stood on the bridge, watching the stars stretch endlessly ahead. Humans do not seek to rule, he said quietly. But when pushed, underestimated, or ignored, humans act decisively. The Empire has fallen, and the galaxy knows why. Sophia looked at him. The lesson has been learned. Humans are patient, precise, and united. The galaxy will respect that. Jake smiled. And feared too, he added quietly, but in a way that ensures survival, not cruelty. Eric nodded. We have done what was necessary, nothing more. Humanity has proven its strength without losing its principles. The fleet began to withdraw slowly from Imperial space. Systems were stabilized, communications restored, and the galaxy started rebuilding. Humans returned to their distant bases, keeping watch, ensuring peace, but never imposing dominance. The galaxy had learned a simple truth. Humans endure, humans act, and humans cannot be underestimated. Alex returned to Earth, walking among the citizens who had supported the fleet from the beginning. He thought of the journey, of the patient planning, of the careful strikes, and of every human who had played a part. Humanity had faced the largest empire in known space and had succeeded not through reckless violence, but through patience, intelligence, and resolve. "We do not conquer for pride," he said quietly to himself. "We act when necessary, we endure, we survive, and we protect those who cannot protect themselves." Jake, Nathan, Sophia, and Eric joined him. Together they looked at the sky, knowing that the galaxy had changed. The empire had fallen, peace was restored, and humans had shown their true strength. "The galaxy will remember humans now," Sophia said. "They will remember patience, precision, and unity." "And fear what comes if we are ignored," Nathan added. Alex smiled slightly. "Yes. But we act for justice, not vengeance. Humans endure, humans plan, humans act, and the galaxy will know it forever." The sun rose over Earth, bright and warm. The human fleet, now resting in quiet space, had completed its mission. The Empire had been defeated, not by chaos, but by patient, precise, and intelligent action. Humans had proven what the galaxy had long ignored. Underestimating humanity could destroy even the strongest empire. And somewhere in the quiet of space, Alex thought of all the stars beyond, of all the systems liberated, of all the lessons learned. Humans had arrived, and nothing would ever be the same. The galaxy would never forget the patience, courage, and strength of humanity. Humans had endured, humans had acted. Humans had changed the galaxy. The Empire was no more, and humanity's story had just begun.